You know, I think most of the farms are located outside city limits, wouldn't you? You know, like way out in the country. Well, just a stone's throw from Rossville Boulevard is a 22-acre farm that's been in agricultural use since the early 1800s.
When did y'all start?
Well, Crabtree Farms started out in 1998 as an organic farm that started out with a nonprofit organization, but we had our first growing season in 2001. We actually exist on a 22-acre land trust that's owned by the city of Chattanooga, and so it took a couple of years to get the land back up and ready and build a barn to have it ready to go. So this was actually used by farmers 150 years ago. So it was an abandoned farm, and the families wanted it to go back to agricultural usage. So that's why they put it into the land trust, and the organization started, and the farmers were able to get out here and start up the land and use it again and create this beautiful oasis we have in downtown Southside Chattanooga.
What about last year? A lot of farmers, you know, were hit pretty hard. How were you folks?
Well, we actually suffered a little bit, but we didn't suffer as badly as a lot of other people. We lost our pick-your-own crops, the blueberries and the strawberries, due to the extreme freeze that we had last year. We covered everything, but to no avail. We have about 90 to 100 different crops that we grow every single year. We have a very diverse array of different vegetables and produce. So by doing that, we were able to avoid some of the things that we would have problems with the climate, as far as the drought or the extreme heat or, you know, the extreme cold that we did have. But a lot of the other producers that are around that only had one particular crop lost everything. So we were really fortunate. We have a well here and we have a great irrigation system, so that really saved a lot of our crops.
You were like a year or so ago certified as an organic farm, meaning what to
Well, we are certified by the USDA as organic, so we have the seal that you see on everything, and basically we don't use any synthetic chemicals or pesticides, so you can go out and pick anything out of our fields and eat it directly off of the actual plant and not have to worry about rinsing the pesticides off. Most things, conventional food, you have to rinse it more than 10 times and it'll still have pesticide residue in it. So that's something that's really exciting to know, that you can bring your kids out and do the pick your own crops, the blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries, and you don't have to rinse it. You can do a little tasting as you're picking along.
And the blackberries, they're huge but very tasty.
Oh, they're incredible. They're Chester thornless variety, so they're not harmful to go out and pick. You know, as I was little, whenever I picked, I always came back with scars on my arms, but I always said it was worth it. But these have no thorns, and they're about this big. They get the size of a plum cherry or a cherry tomato, and they're incredible. They're very sweet, very tasty, don't have as many seeds, and they make the best cobbler. These are our high tunnels, and they're new. We're actually using them for research, and we are extending our seasons. So a lot of times you'll have the growing season and it'll go from April until October. We're able to actually grow into the winter with these cold frames. They're bottomless greenhouses, basically. We can plant directly in the ground, but the plastic covering, we call them cold frames because they keep it cooler in the summer, but they actually keep it warmer when it's cold. So we can have tomatoes. We're going to have tomatoes a month or two earlier than most everybody else will, because we planted them so early in there. The same thing with melons. We'll be able to grow melons in there and actually save them from the severe heat and drought that we might have. So they're really great to extend the season. A lot of farmers are employing these now to be able to grow in the dead of winter and have fresh produce. So they're very exciting things to have. We have the first one last year. We got this other one up this year for the very first year, and we've already got a lot of stuff planted in there.
So is it possible that in a year or two you may be growing 12 months out of the year?
Yes, and we did actually last year. We weren't able to sell for produce, but we have kale that overwintered and lettuces that overwintered, so we were able to pick fresh produce out there in January.
Do you put on your website when things start coming in, like the strawberries and blackberries and everything?
Absolutely. And we have the pick your owns start out. We have strawberries in May, blueberries in June, and blackberries in July. But everybody can go to www.crabtreefarms.org, and you can sign up and get an email for what's ripe every month, and we send out what is going to be the upcoming harvest.
All right, my friends, Crabtree Farms. If you're going south on Rossville Boulevard, this is the best way to tell you. South on Rossville Boulevard, you turn right or east on East 30th Street, and then just follow the signs. Only about a block or so right there. By the way, their farm stand opens tomorrow, and it'll be open Tuesday through Saturdays from 9 to 1. You can check all this out at their website, crabtreefarms.org. It's a great place to visit, and boy, the stuff they grow there is so good.